766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
It is Coffee and time here on ON Radio. I don't know what happened to the news. The news is supposed to go on, and then there it was gone. And then there it was gone. But anyway, we're all here, so thanks for joining us here on the Coffee and program here on Wednesday, March the 25th. I'm Joe Callahan. That's Tim Draper right over there. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Joe. Good morning, Melissa.
Good
and everybody in the audience.
Melissa Smith is here for the St. Antoine Communities. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning. I'm looking at myself in the screen, which is awful.
Always awful.
You're
always awful.
You're everywhere.
And I'm like, man, I tried to wear a spring blouse today, and I put a black sweater on. I'm like, man, this just looks bad. It looks just depressed and
looks okay.
I don't know. I was trying to embrace the springness. It's beautiful out. It's beautiful.
Still a little chilly though.
It's all right.
33.
Come
the
on.
sun is out. That's all that matters.
My perfect temperature is 45.
Alrighty.
Like a warm sun and a cold face. It's a strange thing.
All right. Time for our first message, Melissa, from the St. Antoine Communities. What's up over there?
Oh, my goodness, so much. But I will save that for my second message. In my first message, I will just share a little bit about the services that we offer on our property. So if you're not familiar with St. Antoine Community, we offer everything from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab facility as well as 2 levels of secured memory care. So if you're interested in learning more about the services that we have available on our property, or even how to go about signing up your loved one for a wait list, because yes, we have a wait list on every level of care. It's a very busy time of year. Good for us, not good for you if you're in need of emergent help. But give me a call. Be happy to help you get an understanding of the process of admitting a loved one and kind of the services and the fees attached. But you can call me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
Very cool, Melissa. Very good. All
Very
right.
cool. That was new for Joe.
Very cool.
Usually he says
cool.
good, so
well,
you got a little
very
spring
cool.
in your step.
I do? Wow. Okay.
It fully doesn't believe you.
All right. So did you see that the Blackstone Valley Prep hockey team that won the state championship got to go up to Warrior Arena?
Yeah,
and
to see the Bruins.
Skate with the Bruins.
Yeah,
how cool
good
is
for them.
How cool was
So
that?
awesome.
It is.
Considering the tragic nature of that whole end of the season there, I love to see that good stuff.
You like to see the good stories come
The
out
good
of it.
stuff
come out of it. And
kids are handling it as best as they can, I think.
Yep.
They've done a tremendous, mature job of dealing with that situation, so good for them. They
And
deserve
good
everything they
leadership
get.
from the coach, too.
Good leadership from the coach.
does your one of your daughters, did they know any of the players that went up and skated with the Bruins?
Well, she knows the kids in school that got to go up.
Yeah.
Not close friends with some of the hockey players, but I know that we had our high school's winter awards night on, what's today? Must have been Monday night.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to attend, but I know that they were honored. The team was, and they recognize all the kids, even if they're not students at North Smithfield High School. But I know that he was actually honored with the MVP of the team, which was wonderful recognition. And I think I just keep thinking to myself as a mom, I'm like, I think all of these accolades and exciting moments are happening, and then there's going to be a crash at some point, you know, and that's what my mind is on a little bit, is these are all wonderful, amazing opportunities and distractions, but this is a boy that needs to heal. And so maybe things need to quiet down for a little bit. Because senior year in general, as we all know, is like a flurry of
chaos,
stuff, right? You know, dances and awards and final this and final
graduation.
that. I feel like he might be a little bit distracted by this high straight through to graduation, and at some point it's going to catch up.
I don't know, but does he play a spring sport?
I don't know. Now that
might be another distraction if he's going to, it's time to play, switch to baseball.
Let me go run track or something.
Right. All I keep thinking is that, it was shared on the news that he's going to be a student at Bryant in the fall, that he had been accepted and planned to go there. And I just keep thinking that's probably a good plan. If he were going really far away right now, that might be like a big stretch during such an important healing time. And because the community has surrounded him so much, I just feel like that's what he's going to need as he transitions to college. Because that's overwhelming for any kid, never mind what circumstances have been dealt to him. So,
All right. Well, nice. I'm glad to see the Bruins brought him up. The team
it
go
was
skate
good.
with
It
the
was
Bruins.
nice.
Yeah.
The pictures are great. The video clips are great. We have friends in town that showed their sons, and it was pretty cool.
The and on the point of good things happening to young people, I had the opportunity to but help out at an Eagle Scout Court of Honor the other night, and it just brings me back to how impressive these young people are, and now it's with Scouts. It's both boys and girls, so it's not necessarily just the Boy Scouts anymore. They actually rebranded to the Scouts of America, and I mean the lessons that you get taught through that program, and I only know because my youngest went through the whole thing and got his Eagle Scout, and I just remember having to give that little gentle nudge at the end to get him through because there's so many other distractions in high school. So if a kid can make it to the point where they achieve that honor or that rank, it is all about their discipline, their family structure, their support system, the good things that they've done. And the mayor of Cumberland was there, and he gave some words, and he talked about a few of the characteristics that a Scout has, but he talked about being kind. And how the Scouts, everything that they did in their Eagle Scout projects, the building of the benches, the library, the puzzle tables that they created, those are all things for other people. And it's that kindness, and it's that thought about helping others achieve something or giving somebody something is always really amazing for kids of that age who are focused generally and largely on themselves in their immediate support group to do this for people that they don't know. So kudos to anybody that's getting their Eagle Scout or got their Eagle Scout.
It's a lot of work.
I encourage parents who have young kids, really young kids, get them into Cub Scouts, get them into Scouts of America, and those kids are going to learn skills that they will not appreciate though until they get older. And when they get older, they're going to appreciate them.
When I feel like, did we talk on the air or off the air about that last week? Because my husband's an Eagle Scout, and I think we were connecting on the fact that, he's expressed over the years every one of the jobs that he's had, and he's only had 3 jobs since he graduated college. But each one of those were opportunities where doors were open because he was an Eagle Scout. The person he interviewed happened to be one, and it's something that has stuck on his resume and his accolades since he received it. And I think there's just such a powerful message about your character if you've kind of graduated from that program. But it bonds you to the other folks that have gone the distance. But we need more kind people. So you're right. Get kids away from technology devices, whatever.
Well, I've been away from technology, and that has not been fun.
He was venting about boohoo not having cable since Monday. Oh, poor Tim.
Cable and internet.
Poor Tim's been disconnected.
My house phone goes through that.
Did you have to read a book?
Huh?
Did you have to read a book?
I did.
Wow.
Do you still have a landline? You said your house phone goes through the...
We do have a landline, but it runs through the cable system. So it's not attached to the telephone company. It's attached to Verizon.
Do you still have a landline?
No, I got rid of it.
So you just haven't snipped it yet, huh?
Well, the reason that we haven't snipped it's weird, and it may just be a thing for us. We don't have great cell phone reception in our neighborhood, so our cellular service is not great.
Okay.
But when we put it on, when we do the Wi-Fi, we do all the phones through Wi-Fi. It's fine. They have no issues. But my wife's parents, my parent, my mother, they're getting older, and we're afraid that we're going to miss a phone call if we put our cell phones on vibrate because that we get a million messages all night long, or do not disturb, and that we might miss that call. So if we have the landline, mostly nobody uses it except for spam and my in-laws. But if we're just afraid that you wouldn't get up in the middle of the night if there was an emergency call, so we keep it just for that purpose, and it may just be in our heads, but
I feel like that landline needs to be red.
Yeah.
And kind of like
phone. Right, like the bat phone. The emergency.
Only use an emergency.
Break glass in case of emergency. Phone underneath.
All right, let's see. Other things going on. Rhode Island Energy is warning customers there's an increase in scam attempts. This is not phone calls. These are people coming to your home saying they're with Rhode Island Energy. And so Rhode Island Energy has put out, if you don't have an appointment that Rhode Island Energy is coming to your home, don't let these people in.
Right.
They will schedule people coming out, so
is
you know that they're coming.
I didn't hear about this scam, but I can look back on my phone a month or ish so ago. My daughter was on spring break, so she was home by herself. Did we talk about this?
Was it the
and
one
someone
where
came
someone
by?
came to your house?
They're changing the meter. So Rhode Island Energy is making a push to change every meter in the state.
So that's what they claimed. There was a truck in the street, but there were no appointments. And this guy walked from house to house to house to house. And what bothered me was she knows not to answer the door, so she did not. We had snow out, right? He, without permission, looked through windows. She was watching. She could see through windows, and then walked around, because we had the footprints in the snow, to the side of the house to read the meter, which fine, whatever. But we didn't have an appointment. I was very bothered by this, and I thought it was also a little intrusive that he would think it's okay to
Right.
walk on our property, look through the windows, walk around to
You
the
should
side
be
of the
going
house without
to the meter
permission.
and be done and out. That's
But
what
he
you should
walked
be
the
doing.
whole street, and one of our other neighbors was home and talked to the guy. He was the rudest individual, but they
Really?
did challenge, like, why wouldn't we know about this? Why wouldn't we be issued something ahead of time?
Yeah.
And also, why would we not have an appointment?
Right.
So,
Rhode Island Energy says representatives will only visit a home or a business after multiple attempts by phone or letter to address an overdue account. So he was not doing that. He wasn't there to
no,
collect
he was
money.
walking the entire street,
Yeah.
checking
But
everyone's
I
meters.
guess that's the scam.
Yeah.
We're with Rhode Island Energy, and you owe us money. So they're not, unless you know they're coming, don't
Well,
owe people money.
there's a couple benefits then to changing your meters to the digital reading meters. Is one, you're going to get an accurate reading and you won't have to get estimated, and two, you're not going to have anybody needs to walk around your house to get to
Yeah.
a meter.
yeah.
So
The in my town, to read my water meter, they can do it from the vehicle,
Yep.
from the road.
Ours too. They changed it. There's
Beep.
there's
Yeah,
a little
that's pretty
RF reader
cool.
outside
Yeah.
the
Oh,
house.
so
they
we're
can
just
do-
dated. Maybe that's
Are you on a well,
coming
though?
through. We're on a well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody needs to read your meter. You're on a well.
So just beware of that about scams involving Rhode Island Energy.
Right.
All right. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island, he's applauding the unanimous passage of the Fighting Foreign Illegal Seafood Harvest Act, or it's the FISH Act.
Of course.
FISH.
All great acronyms.
Wait a minute. Can you just say that again?
It's
the
Fighting Foreign Illegal Seafood Harvest. FISH with two F's. The Bipartisan Fish Act would combat foreign, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing by blacklisting offending vessels from U.S. ports and waters. There's illegal fishing going on. So who knew?
How do you enforce that? The Coast Guard must do that, right?
Well, the Coast Guard will bad boat, good boat. Yeah. So now
But I would think if it's a
there's
bad
law
boat, it's
against
not
it.
going to be showing up at a port in
Yeah.
the United States.
Oh, they're trying. Yeah.
Interesting.
And so the White House says cracking down on illegal pirate fishing levels the playing field for hardworking Rhode Island fishermen who play by the rules. So there's the right fishermen, and then there's, like he says, there's pirates going out there trying to catch the fish and then sell it back.
Are they from other countries, or are they just
Doesn't say.
bad guys?
I think they're from
not
Rhode
registered.
Island. Or Bass, wherever they're taking off from. But they're cracking down on it, so good,
All right.
good for them. But it's the Fish Act. That was the Fish Act has passed.
I can't recite the title again. I tried.
Fighting foreign
in my head after you said it the second
illegal-
time. I was trying to remember the whole thing.
Something
Fishing.
seafood harvest.
Yeah,
Okay, it just rolls off your tongue.
it does. It does. Goes nice and easy. The Rhode Island Supreme Court has vacated the conviction of a murderer, Traquan Baker, in a 2022 cigar bar killing. He was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison in the death of Kudos Kafo. But on Tuesday, the state's highest court determined that the prosecution carried out inappropriate questioning at the trial. This is real CSI stuff.
Can he be retried?
Is
it double jeopardy now?
The case has been sent back to Superior Court, so I guess it will go back to. Let's try again.
So is he still in jail, or do they have to release him?
Well, if you vacate the conviction, you're out. So yeah, I guess he's out.
I mean,
I guess he could be rearrested.
Yeah.
For the same crime, and then you know we're just going to keep you here. But it doesn't say, so I don't know. They said they carried out inappropriate questioning of the trial, focusing on what happened after Baker's arrest. So this is a good question for Bob Lauder.
I struggle.
This is a real good lawyer
with,
question.
with stuff like this, because on one hand, I understand people's rights, and you don't want to be railroaded, and they can make stuff up, and you get in jail for that. But then there's other times when it just seems so blatant that, okay, I asked you the wrong question. That all of a sudden now, that is the technicality that gets you off of murdering somebody.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I will keep this. And we'll
As a note
we'll
to
ask-
Bob, note to self.
Ask
note to
Bob this one, even though he's not a criminal
Yeah.
lawyer, but
Well, he might know.
do we have a running
Still a
log
little.
of questions for Bob? Because I feel like every week,
Sometimes.
and we don't go back to what we asked him the week prior to
Oh, I know.
understand the
Well, we
answer.
should be writing them
so
all
there
over.
should be a segment.
But we're,
Like
Questions
after
for
the-
Bob.
it's really for the audience. Tune in tomorrow when we ask Bob the legal
Oh, see, it's
question.
a tease. It's the big tease.
It is. All right. Let's take another break. Our first break here on the Coffee and program. So we send things back over to Melissa Smith for another message from the St. Antoine communities. Please.
So Well, okay. I'll talk about 401 Gives, which I feel like Tim might be doing the same thing because we have a week to go till 401 Gives. And for those of you that don't know what it is or how you can get involved or how you can support it, it's an initiative. It's a platform that was launched from the United Way literally back in COVID times to connect as a platform with nonprofits, make you more aware, make you more educated on services provided in our state that really could benefit from your donations during a really hard time. And then it just rolled and it kept going. And it's been 6 years that we've been participating. 6 years or 7 years? 6 years since COVID,
Were you at the
right?
United
COVID was
Way when it started?
2020.
I was not. And I worked for a different United Way than the Rhode Island
I
United
got you.
but anyway, so we are participating again, and it's always an opportunity for us to kind of come up with a project that we're working on for the year and ask for friends and families of our residents or even community leaders to step forward and make a donation to support our project. And this year's project, we are actually working on renovating St. Antoine residence. So hopefully that'll get started in the next few months. Paint, wallpaper stripping, new floors, lighting, all the things, all the furniture, all the things, which is way long overdue. But we're starting with the lobby. So the 401 Gives launch for us is to really support, I call it the front porch of our community. So we want to go ahead and do a little face makeover, whatever you want, facelift makeover to that space and make it more welcoming and inviting for you all, as well as handicap accessible. So if you're interested in supporting St. Antoine community, jump onto the 401 Gives account on April 1st. It's running for 24. Actually, I think it's starting
March
the day
31st.
before,
Yep,
right?
day before.
They are, because they're being sensitive to...
Is it Rosh Hashanah? One of the Jewish holidays.
Yeah, so they're starting it the day before, but it's giving it a 48-hour window to jump online and give support to us. So we appreciate your generosity in advance. Thank you.
And Tim, maybe they can bring in the main cabin masters to do the redo. How cool would that be?
I would love the main cabin masters.
All
Great
right.
show. Except I missed it Monday
I'm
night
not
because I had
quite
no
sure
cable.
that's the look we're going for.
No?
but,
Too
on,
bad.
Rusty.
but thank you.
All right, more coffee and coming your way. Stick around.
ON 1240. Easter is a very special time at Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse. Pre-order your baked and smoked Easter hams prepared for you at Krakow. And remember, your mini hams for the Easter baskets with horseradish, butter lamb, sugar lamb, 10 kinds of babka, and 10 kinds of kielbasa, including regular double smoked with garlic, hunter with juniper berries, and the hard-to-find uncooked kielbasa. Remember Christian's famous variety of breads like Polish rye, sourdough, and Italian focaccia and ciabatta, house-made Polish spiral cheesecake, and so much more. Krakow will take no days off from now until Easter Sunday. Open every day from 9 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 5, and keep up with the latest specials on Krakow Deli's Facebook page. Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse, 855 Social Street, Woonsocket.
The ON Radio Business of the Day for Wednesday, March 25th is the Broster House, 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket.
Henry's Auto Repair on Park Avenue in Woonsocket can get and keep your car working. They don't cut corners with your repairs or safety, and they talk in plain English about what they find wrong with your car. They do their best to fix what's wrong quickly and with the least expense. Call Henry's Auto Repair in Woonsocket at 762-2325 weekdays. That's 762-2325. Henry's Auto Repair, 1068 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. Always a 10% military and first responder discount at Henry's.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON Woonsocket Radio.
It is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. So the good news, I guess this is good news. Save the Bay counted 590, not 600, 590 seals along the Rhode Island coastline over a 2-hour span last
Really?
week.
How do you-
590, and I don't know how you can tell them apart.
Yeah, how do you count them?
How do you
Scientists,
tell them apart? They do look the same.
naturalists, and volunteers conducted the point-in-time count to establish a minimum estimate of the state's seal population.
Okay.
July Lewis with Save the Bay says the numbers are a little lower than last year, but the seal population in the mainland area seems to be relatively stable. The single-day count can be affected by weather conditions or what the seals happen to be doing at the time.
Well, that means it will be greeted by a lot of great white sharks this summer.
will be coming up there saying, "Where's dinner?
Where's dinner? There it is.
A little north of here." So they'll be
going to the
You
coming
just
up.
took away my joy over the story. I'm sitting here thinking,
Well, the sharks
look at
aren't here
Joe.
yet.
Well, you know, it's funny. When we used to go to the Cape, the out on Monomoy Island, I think it is, over by Chatham, you can go out and there's an island where all the seals hang out. They just hang out at the island. But that's where all the great white sharks go. They just kind of go hang around the water. Like, yikes.
Yeah. That's not what
That's
I
why I
want to
didn't
think
go.
about
That's why
right
I never
now.
went swimming on that island. People did though, but I didn't.
Well, that's cool. I didn't realize there were that many seals in the Rhode Island waters at this time of year.
Seems kind of
I
cold,
thought it'd
but-
be kind of lower than that.
Yeah.
Because the water is so cold.
How often
But
do they do this count? Do they
maybe
say?
they do it every year. They said the 590 is lower than last year.
Well, I didn't know if they do it multiple times throughout the course of the summer, or whether it's just once a year.
Check in with Save the Bay, Tim.
Check in with-
and they'll be able to tell you that. So earlier in the week, we had that terrible crash at LaGuardia Airport. Have you seen the video?
I have.
Yeah, it's awful.
Unbelievable.
I didn't realize the jet was going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look it in the
Wow.
video,
No,
but
it
it
doesn't.
was. Yeah.
And the fire truck just goes right in front of it. And it's
But
just
the
like,
interesting
wow.
thing is that you can hear the controller screaming, "Stop! Stop! Stop!
get
Stop!
out to get out of the
Stop!"
way.
And the fire
Yeah.
truck never stopped. It just kept
Nope.
going. So
maybe they thought they were talking to the
I don't
to the,
know.
to the
That
plane.
whole-
I don't know.
They are going to investigate the air traffic.
there's a
I bring it
human
up
error.
because there was an issue at TF Green. There were
Oh.
no reported
Not quite
injuries.
the same,
No, no,
Not
no.
quite
yeah.
the same.
Yeah, I know.
A JetBlue flight safely returned to TF Green yesterday morning as a precaution. Flight 1129 that was going to JFK in New York struck an animal during
coyote.
takeoff. Was it a coyote?
It was
I
a
don't know what it
coyote.
was.
So I got to tell you, I was
So they hadn't got up in the air yet. They were still
Right.
cruising, and the coyote ran in front of the jet.
right.
Wow.
So 2 weekends ago, I was
Okay.
over at North Central. I was taking my flying lessons, and it was dusk, so it was later at night. And we're coming off the runway and on the taxiway, and there were 2 coyotes on the airport property on the taxiway. And I'm looking at my instructor, and he's looking at me, and he goes, "Well, I haven't seen that before."
and
I
there's
went,
no
"That's
horn
interesting."
on the plane, right?
No, can't go beep beep. You know.
Wow, I feel like you need to report that to someone. There
I
needs
think-
to be a study now. Why are these coyotes suddenly on?
I don't know.
attracted to
There's
airplanes?
there's a fence around the property, so I'm surprised they were able to get through.
Oh,
so
no,
there must
they
be a
didn't.
way
There's
to
a
get in.
hole somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a hole somewhere. But I guess my point would be that I guess that's not as unusual as one might think, which makes me a little nervous as we fly in and out of the airports all the time. So
And it could be, is it mating season for coyotes? So they're
maybe
out and
it's
about.
like deer.
Yeah. So
And that area is right near my parents live not far, right off of Lime Rock Road on the line of Smithfield and Lincoln. So grew up with that airport around the corner, but Blackbird Farm is right on
Yeah.
Lime Rock Road now. And if anybody's familiar with Blackbird Farm, it's first of all, it's amazing, but yeah, it's a slaughter. They have
Yeah.
a slaughter there.
Right.
So it has attracted, there's been an uptick in my parents' neighborhood even with coyotes, et cetera, all drawn to that area
Interesting.
because of it. And so I just think there's
There might be a reason for it.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
so no damage to the plane, by the way,
Yeah.
when they hit the coyote, but they did go back to the terminal, check it
Yeah.
out, and then be on your way. So
New definition
let's-
for the term roadkill.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
What was that bump?
Thud.
When they said that the story that they had to like bring the plane back and examine it, I'm
Gotta
thinking
check
it's
it
a
out.
coyote. This is a plane. This
Yeah.
is a coyote. Like, what are we doing? But
Well,
there's
when
been
you're-
stories of birds going into propellers and
Yes.
Well, that's
having
what
to
brought
turn
down
around, yeah.
Flight 1590 in the Hudson
the
River.
Hudson.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. So people are just a little delayed on getting to
Little delayed.
JFK there in
At least they
New
didn't
York
have to get off the
City.
plane. They did a quick inspection.
No,
and
just
they
take a
were
look
all
around.
right.
Okay, everything's fine. Try it again.
Right.
All right, let's see. They're still looking for a man in West Warwick who's been missing since 2017.
Really?
And the West Warwick police are bringing it back up again. We're still looking for this man, Norman Baxter. He was 32 when he was reported missing February 15th, 2017. Investigators say even the smallest detail may help. His photo is posted on their Facebook page. If anyone knows where he might be, anyone with information is asked to contact West Warwick Police, but he's been missing almost 10 years.
Do they think he wandered away? Or do they think foul play?
Don't say. Just say
I
he's
think,
been
I just think this
reported
is the way Savannah
missing.
Guthrie's mother's
Oh my
situation's going to
gosh.
go. Just not sure that
she's
they'll
not
ever find her.
You know, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it's reminding me.
Okay.
There was a series of deaths down in Warwick, and I want to say it was around 2018, somewhere in that bucket, of women that were killed. Do you remember that? There was like a body that was
Vaguely.
found near the airport parking lot.
Yeah.
Then there was another one found not far by, like in a Situate water bed, whatever. There was like a series of women that had been killed. And I don't feel like we ever had closure on some of those bodies that were found. There was missing people. There was like a whole weird stretch of stories at the time. And here we go. It's like, I haven't thought about that since forever. And now you're talking about a guy from 2017. And yeah, I feel like there's...
Let's see if I do.
We need some closure on some of
that.
these,
Okay.
you know?
Well, speaking of TF Green Airport, I just want to let you guys know, because we talked about it here on Coffee, and a couple of days ago we had the governor on. Governor Dan McKee was here.
Yep.
And the first thing we talked about was the sailboat at TF Green. I said, Governor, you got some pull.
Yeah,
He's
he
going to
didn't
keep
commit
it,
to
right?
it.
Yes, he did. He said he was going to call them.
Okay, but he didn't say he was going to get it back.
Well, it's a private organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knows the people at the airport commission. He said he was going to call. I said, you tell him the people at ON Radio
Yes.
want the sailboat back.
I think we're a good sample size audience,
And,
aren't we? Yeah.
Well, you and
And
most
he
of the
agreed.
state of Rhode Island, I think, wants it back.
Well,
Well-
it's a signature, and I
Right.
think. Have you ever been to another airport where they've had a sailboat
Sailboat?
parked
No.
right in the
Well,
lobby, and
no.
it's
So-
attractive? It's very nice, like greeting you upon arrival. It's
So, did
symbolic.
he call the commission? I don't know.
Maybe.
I hope that he has a few more important things on his plate than this, but
Well, just, in the car while he's being driven back to the State House.
Hey, what are you doing with
get
the
the airport
sailboat?
commission on the phone?
What are you doing with the sailboat?
I know it's in Portsmouth, just waiting, and I know there's a lot of work to be
Well,
done on
probably clean
the
it up.
land. So,
Give it-
clean it up, give it a new paint job, maybe a new sail,
Yeah.
and then make sure you bring it back.
Right. Put
Everything's-
it back.
everything's fine. So, all right, let's see. Other things going on. Police up in Boston say 5 teens were arrested during an alleged ruckus
Ruckus.
at a Dorchester Panera Bread.
Boy, that
Oh,
word.
Dorchester.
You don't use that word enough.
A ruckus? Yeah.
Ruckus and Dorchester. It's
On Monday, officers responded to a group of teens reportedly causing a disturbance and refusing to leave the restaurant. After refusing to leave, police claimed the group began striking officers and throwing tables at them.
what?
Wow, that's a
that's
ruckus.
just
When
not good.
That
you-
is a
That
ruckus.
when you're
ruckus.
picking up tables. One suspect's actions sparked chaos among the rest of the group, leading them to flip tables and fight with the officers. Already this year, officers have responded to more than 15 radio calls from that particular Panera Bread about teenagers needing to be removed. Wow.
Those darn
like that's
teens.
Jeez. I remember back in my earlier days, back in my Burger King
You were causing
days,
ruckuses?
I was not. No, I was working at a Burger King, and one of the Burger Kings in Canton, which was in our district, they had an organized like 10 team members all quit on the same day.
Really?
So they were looking for help. So I got pulled in, go work up in Canton. But Canton, they told us, they said it's a lot busier there than here. What we do in a day, they do at lunch. Okay,
Oof.
It's busy there. And didn't a couple of people started a fight inside? But did the managers call the cops? No, the managers jumped over the counter, grabbed them, and threw them
out.
outside.
Yeah.
They
That's
were-
when
they
those
were-
are good
they
old
were-
days when you
I'm
could
like,
do that.
just grab a hold of these
Not
people.
worried about getting
You're
sued.
Right.
You're not fighting in here. You go fight
Yeah,
outside.
right.
And they didn't come back. I don't know if they fought in the parking lot or not.
It's weird, probably.
But if you stop flipping tables, okay.
Well,
now
throwing them at the police. I
now
think
it's
is
time
also a
to
problem.
that's an issue. We can't
You know
do
what? That's
that
going to be
either.
our punch word now all week. We're going to
Ruckus?
is going to
Ruckus.
be.
All right, who's creating the ruckus?
We haven't
here
used
today?
it in a while. We're like, oh, how do you spell ruckus? And then you start
UCKUS ruckus.
not knowing why,
That's it.
subconsciously dumping it into all of your conversations.
You never know. All right, you got to be careful. Who knew? You got to be careful going into a Michael's store, the craft store.
Yeah, I like that place.
Okay.
You do?
I do.
What do you do there?
There's all sorts of things you can pick up.
I,
inside
you
of the
crafty?
Michael's.
I look around. No, but
Timmy.
I look around.
at Christmas time, I go to buy stuff for my wife, who is very crafty. She's got one of those.
Christmas
cricket
time is a
machines
great
and
time
stuff.
to go because they do have very good ornaments.
Yes, but they have like
I
models.
am totally
When I was a-
impressed by this conversation.
when I was a kid, I
You
used to
won't be in
build
a minute.
models. I know. When I was a kid, I used to build models, so they have all kinds of plastic models there. The
Yeah?
Revell
Okay.
models, those are cool. I went through a Bob Ross painting phase, so I would go there and get all my Bob Ross painting memorabilia, and stuff, paints, and things. So yeah, I've been in a few times.
Okay.
They have a nice framing section.
All right. You haven't
I am
been
just shocked by
You haven't
both
been-
of you and your response.
you haven't been to
Hey,
the
we're
one
cultured.
you haven't been to the one in Stoneham, Massachusetts, have you? No. Okay. Neither have I. So Tim
Was
and
there
I,
a ruckus?
Well, you tell me. Police are investigating an alleged flashing incident at the Stoneham Michael's store. I didn't know Tim was going to spit out his coffee.
Sorry.
A female worker at the Michael's store which is on Main Street in Stoneham, said a man exposed himself to her Sunday night and fled when she started yelling. And she chased him out of the store.
Ugh. Pants around his ankles, maybe? That would be embarrassing.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with people?
A passerby... We'll get the phone out right away because we're going to get video of these babies. Got video of the two running down the sidewalk.
All right.
Can you see the woman with like a yardstick?
I'm just trying to picture, like, what goes through the mind of this person who's like, I feel like I'm going to go into Michael's
this is a good idea.
Flash somebody.
Because the number of women to men in the store, much higher.
100%.
It's like 80 to 20% is going to be women.
Yeah,
I think that's the only way they're thinking it.
What kind of perverted mind do you have? That's what
I'm going after
I'm
some
do
old
this
little
today.
crafting biddies.
Why? Why?
Channel 5 reported the woman said she's grateful no one else in the store saw what happened.
Yeah.
So she was able to
Was
chase
she an
him out
employee?
before. She's an employee.
Okay.
So she was able to chase him out and yell at it and get him on the run before he could expose himself to other people in the store. Didn't say how many other people were in the store.
Brilliant. They track the guy down and arrest him?
They didn't say. So no, but we got video of him.
No,
I don't know if
it'll end up on Instagram somewhere, I'm sure.
It's like, wow. So just you never know.
You never know.
You never know what's going to happen when you walk into anywhere. Kind of thing.
Be ready.
You do. Up in one more story before then we'll take a break. And they don't give us the details, which always drives me crazy. In Fitchburg, Massachusetts, the fire chief, Dante Suarez, is on leave pending the results of an external investigation. In a statement, the mayor offered no details regarding the nature of the investigation. It just says it's a personnel matter, which prevents any comment. So that's it. The assistant chief is now serving as the acting fire chief. So we don't know what the internal investigation is all about. External investigation is all about.
There's chaos in that department.
And so if they decide to let the person go, I think maybe then the comments will come out, and then we'll see. But right now, no idea.
You can't.
He's out. That's the way it goes.
You can't have any comment on those things.
Nope. That's the way it goes. All right, break time on Coffee and once again, time for the weather forecast being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 53 degrees and a breeze from the southwest. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 38 degrees. Thursday's weather, increasing clouds, mostly cloudy all day with a high of 62 degrees. There's a 20% chance of a shower, but breezy from the southwest up to 25 miles per hour. Thursday night, 80% chance of rain, mainly after 11 p.m. Overnight low of 45. A tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain is possible Thursday night. Friday, more rain, mainly early in the morning. High of 48 degrees and the wind swinging around to the north. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 39. Sunday, sunshine and 46. Monday, sunshine and 53. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, high near 56 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies, and we're above the freezing mark. We're at 36 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. Ask most anyone in Woonsocket who has the best breakfast in town, and the likely answer will be Missy's Family Restaurant. For great service, great food, and a nice cozy atmosphere, the only place to go is Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street, Woonsocket. Be sure to visit their Facebook page for weekly specials. If you're looking for home-style cooked meals at an affordable price, then you should stop into Missy's Family Restaurant today. Missy's is open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, call us at 765-8880. Integrity, trust, service. The Carew Investment Group, Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
All right, Coffee in here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. It's Joe Callahan along with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. And Tim, time for a first message from the Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. People sometimes still don't necessarily understand the difference between a credit union and the bank. There is a structural difference between the two. Credit union is owned and governed by its membership. So if you are a member of the credit union, you have a vote at our annual meeting. You have a right to ask questions, which we have members who love to ask questions, and that is entirely fine. But unlike a traditional bank or a national or regional bank where they have investors, so the management of the bank has to be concerned about returning a return to the investors, and sometimes that's at the penalty of the customer. Whereas a credit union, it's all about the members. So whatever we make in terms of our income goes back into the credit union in terms of lower rates and lower fees and higher deposit rates. And all these great programs that we try to provide to folks, the technology that's out there with our online banking and digital tools, the variety of loan products that we have, our credit card programs, our new wealth management advisors, our foundation and our community giving, that all is part of the benefit of being kind of a closed cooperative system where the everything just kind of stays local. So if you're interested in becoming part of an organization that has that philosophy, please consider opening up an account at Navigant Credit Union. It costs you $10. That's what we call the membership. And just basically open up a savings or checking account, and you will be on your way to financial happiness at Navigant Credit Union. NavigantCU.org, 233-4700, or just join us over here at the Park Square branch and see Christian and his team.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Well, just a public service announcement. You might want to stay away from Route 1 in Foxborough this coming Thursday afternoon. Teams representing Brazil and France. It's a pre-FIFA World Cup soccer match.
Yeah, that's
going to happen Thursday afternoon. Now, why they chose Thursday, why they chose the game to be at 4 o'clock, I don't know, because that's when the Red Sox have opening day at 4 o'clock.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
But not in Fenway. I mean, they're going to be in Cincinnati. But it's opening day.
Yeah.
And again, the Red Sox game's at 4. This game's at 4. But the parking lot will open up at noon for the people that like to tailgate, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The gates to Gillette Stadium will open up at 2. And the match begins at 4. This is not free.
Yeah.
You have to get tickets through Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I don't know. Got to be a practice run, right, for everything.
It's an exhibition
security game. To the stadium, how they're going to handle it, and because it'll be a big deal in June and July.
I just wonder how much the tickets are for this exhibition game.
I don't know.
$10, $20, $50.
FIFA?
Not really.
No.
You mean at the credit union?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not that. Listen, not that I'm aware of. The marketing team may have something up their sleeve. I'm not necessarily privy to that, so I don't know. But I don't think we have anything specific.
I was curious if you guys were going to be up there. Yeah.
Not even with the what is it, Ghana that's coming to Bryant University?
We'll be over there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what again.
Did you catch that story on the news? I was just talking to my sister in the parking lot before the show about it, who lives in Smithfield. So Tassoni, I don't know if they call it an administrator in Smithfield or what's the role?
He's a town council.
Town council, okay. Has made the decision to not allow VRBO rentals, so they're blocking people applying for. I don't know what the process is for
Smithfield as well. Lincoln has that.
What did I say? Venmo?
No,
I said VRBO. Okay,
you spelled it out.
So Airbnb, VRBO, those guys. Short term.
Most people just say it's Verbo, but
okay. Most people. I'm not most people, Joe. We were talking about that because we had discussed the possibility, joking, like you had, Tim, too. Yep. We were talking about what if we just put our house up for a couple weeks, whatever. It's not like you're that far.
No,
you
got to jump through 1,000 hoops.
Right. So they're blocking it in town, and it's all to boost, basically people registering at the hotel. So they want to boost the hotel dollars. And I just think it's such a shame because it's an opportunity for residents in town to, especially with heating costs on the rise, groceries. Yeah. It's a great way to kind of make a few bucks if you're willing to put your house out there for it.
The Valley
But,
Breeze did a story about that, about Lincoln not allowing it as well. But
Blocking it.
Woonsocket and North Smithfield are okay. But there's still, you got to get this permit and that permit. And you got to get the janitor's
Right.
signature. There's a lot of hoops
Yeah.
to jump through in order to do this. And
But
you got to do
going-
it quickly or you're going to miss the boat.
I'm wondering, with the explanation that she was sharing with me about the fact, well, North Smithfield and Woonsocket don't have like a huge hotel market, you know. So what's another way that you can ensure revenue in your town? Well, go ahead and let your residents put out their house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a little money from it.
Yep, exactly.
France versus Brazil, March 26th.
Yep, tomorrow.
Yep. The ticket prices are. Keep chatting. I'll find. It's loading up here.
I'm
It's
sure
a little
be,
slow.
You know, better,
If you
higher
accidentally
price when you're
purchase
close.
$229
per ticket.
per ticket.
Well, that's going to be for the really good seats.
Nope. Section
No?
316.
Oh, that's awful. That's high up.
That is the nosebleed seats, Joe. You are correct.
So down closer to the field, it's got to be
I
obviously
don't
higher.
even see any tickets available closer to the field.
Oh, maybe they're already sold out. Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I won't be going.
I
Is what
won't
it
be
comes-
going
is-
either.
Is what it comes down to.
not gonna go either.
Are they going to be broadcasting or streaming this somewhere on some platform that we should watch for free on?
ESPN has got all the rights to the FIFA World Cup, so
Yep.
maybe they'll have it
Yeah.
on one of their channels.
200 sections, it's $275.
My head isn't even in this yet. We're still in
Well,
March Madness.
why is
is
the 200 section less money? Did I get that right?
No,
Or did
no,
I
you
get
got it
that
wrong. 275 is just 200 sections.
Oh, okay.
And then well, this is section. Oh no. Go ahead, keep
Okay.
talking. I'll find it. But
All right. Well, I thought they'd be 20
$288
bucks.
for row
I thought it'd
140,
be
so
20
it's
bucks.
not-
It's an exhibition game.
Nah, I
seems
thought
like
more than 20, but I certainly did not think
it
hundreds.
seems like it's about $15 every time you go down a level.
Okay.
It's about $15 more. So
Wow.
they're under $300
All right, I'll stay away. So
per
all right.
ticket
I
per
know.
ticket for
All
an
right.
exhibition game.
for like a 2.5 hour game.
Yeah.
And people
That-
criticize Taylor Swift concert tickets. Like, this is
That doesn't
actually
include fees. That's just the price of the ticket.
That's
Then you got to add the
For a
fees
game
and
that
stuff in
for
there.
a game that may end up 0-0.
Could be
All right, the hunt is on.
0-0, Joe. Come on, let's get that right. Let's get the
Was it
terminology
0-0? Okay.
on the pitch.
The hunt is on for a sweet-smelling bandit in Louisiana. Cops in Hammond say a woman stole more than $1,000 worth of perfume from an Ulta beauty store. How many bottles is $1,000?
it's actually not as much as you think.
Okay.
There's some perfume that is
Really
obnoxiously
high?
priced.
Okay.
There's one perfume that teen girls are like raving about right now, and my daughter had asked for it for Christmas, and
How much?
I was like, absolutely not. It's $120 for a
For how-
bottle
for how many ounces?
for like a
half
like
an
a
ounce.
1 ounce, like a 1 or 2 ounce bottle. It was only like this big. It was
Wow.
small.
Yeah.
and it didn't even smell that good. I was like,
yeah.
absolutely not. If it smelled like it was worth the 120, I
Be
would
like teenage
contemplate.
boys and just buy Axe.
Axe. The police report shows the woman had 4 kids along with her at the time to help her remove security tags from the bottles. Okay, kids.
Oh my God.
It's a,
Kind of
it's a
it's a
family
great
operation.
lesson. It's a great lesson you're teaching your kids. This is the future of our country, folks.
When I was in my retail days, they always told us at Christmas time, really mostly, you have to be on. Unfortunately, you got to be on the lookout for the women pushing baby carriages.
Yeah.
Because that's where they hide the stuff in
Yeah.
with the babies.
Well, that I think I've shared that I accidentally stole something from Carter's one time because of my baby carriage, and I literally
Accidentally.
went back and confessed. I'm like, I am so
mortified.
sorry. Well, because you remember baby carriages had the visor that would go over
Yeah,
the right,
yeah, yep.
and then you pull it back so your kid can see you. So when you're
Right.
shopping, they're not screaming; they're looking at you. That little area is where you would drape. Like you're shopping,
Yeah.
draping clothes, whatever, and one pair slipped within the seam of that. And I didn't
you
know
got away
till
with
we
it, huh?
was I rent them.
You criminal.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that day. I'm like, I can't believe I walked out of there with, whatever, a $10 pair of toddler jeans.
I work with a woman more honest than that. She walked into Stop and Shop, walked over to the bakery, grabbed a corn muffin, turned around and walked out.
Well,
She didn't realize it until she got. I didn't pay for this. She went back to the Stop and Shop. Here's your $1.50 or whatever it was.
I love it.
She was like, I can't believe I walked out with it.
There's this like growing trend of restaurants shaming customers who aren't paying their bill. And Twin
Yeah.
Oaks just had a post up yesterday.
Someone
and
didn't pay at Twin Oaks?
There was a camera at the bar, evidently, and it showed the guy like cleverly like writing, and he just like kind of circled numbers that looked like, and kind of scribbled a little something.
Oh, so it looks like
it looked like he was filling something out.
Oh, okay.
And then left.
Yeah.
And it was like a $75 tab at the bar. And so they did this whole, like, if you recognize this man, and then I want to say an hour later, it's taken down. It's like they found him.
They found him.
Well,
Okay.
public shame for stealing.
The other thing that seems to be going on, at least I'm hearing about more, is this whole pushback on tips.
Tipping, yeah.
Not just the whole, hey, we're going to add the tip at the cash register, so you have to decide whether you're going to leave a tip at the moment.
Yeah.
But, like, people are not tipping when they go to a restaurant, and they're just scratch and then leave. I'm like, really?
I've heard that, and people say, well, I don't believe in tipping. Yeah, and they say the restaurant should pay your employees more. Why am I paying for more? But,
well, okay, but that's not the way it happens. So
Well,
you're going to penalize the people who just served you.
yeah,
Who did it because they're making whatever $3 an hour because that minimum wage is different than
the other,
because they get tips. I'm just one of those people that I tip more for breakfast meals because they don't have that meal's not as an expensive meal. So they work just as hard in my mind at breakfast time as they do at dinner. So I always try to leave a little more for the breakfast crowd. But it's amazing. I don't think I've ever been with anybody who hasn't left a tip. Now, I've left 10% tips when my services stunk, right? But even when it stinks, I don't think I've ever not left a tip.
So my husband's not listening, so I can totally throw him under the bus. He
Except
is
when I send him this
notorious.
clip from YouTube.
He is not cheap overall, but he gets cheap when we go to a bar because he feels like all they're doing is turning around and pouring me a drink. And then if you get a snack at the bar, why am I tipping the bartender? I'd rather tip the person who did the running to bring me the food. Like, he gets very conceptualized, like in his decisions on how he writes out.
I kind of understand that, though.
Yeah, he struggles with that. Or there's been times that we've gone to a bar and ordered food to go home with.
Right.
And he's like, why am I tipping on that whole thing? I don't have a waitress serving me this meal hot on a plate. I'm bringing it home with me. So why would I, on a $75 tab, with dinner for $4 going home with you and a couple beers at the bar, why am I tipping 20% on that when I'm really just getting takeout?
Right. That's the thing. It's the takeout.
So he struggles with that, but he's like, are they going to judge me because I'm not doing 20% on a $75 tab that I'm taking home with me?
My question, and it's for you guys or the audience or whatever, is in a takeout, so go to a pizza place, right? And I use my credit card to buy the pizza.
Yes.
And there's a line for tip.
Yes.
If I put money in there, who gets that tip?
Right.
Is that going to
building.
the people?
Yeah.
Is it the building, or is it the people that cook it, or they split it amongst the people cooking it and the people at the cash register and all that other stuff?
Because my daughter, who works at a Dunkin', they collect all the tips.
Yep.
And then they split it up amongst all themselves, so it doesn't go directly.
So
to
there's two
person.
things. That's great in a takeout situation. So I think of, like, I'm not even going to use a restaurant because there's a few that I go to. So if you put a sign up that says, please know that the tips you leave are divided amongst all of our employees, all of our front service employees, I think I'd be more inclined to tip.
Okay.
On a takeout, because I know that they're sharing that, and it's not just going to the house.
I agree with that. I will actually use a restaurant by name. Only because I can speak from experience. My daughter had worked at Laura's last summer, and she was a hostess, and she was not paid minimum wage, less than, because they tip for that role. And she struggled with that because, during quiet times, or if you're doing like Sunday brunch or whatever, there's not a lot of traffic for takeout. But she would get tips based on takeout orders. So you wanted to have those evening shifts because that's when there was mostly takeout. Same thing. I'm like, so I don't normally tip a hostess if I'm getting takeout. But I started getting in the habit of it last year because I was like, oh, well, these are kids like my kids, so they're probably not making, like, I know Lindy similarly, like you do takeout from them, and there's a tip line now. Every place has a tip line.
Right.
But I am like you. I would like to know, is this just going to the person who I'm checking out with?
Right.
Or is this going to someone, like my daughter was hustling at Laura's. The kitchen was pretty far away. But in other places, like a pizza shop, you're turning around and grabbing it off the back wall.
And putting it on the counter.
So I would love to know that. So you're right. If there was transparency with restaurants about where the tips go, if it's pooled at the end, or if the
I'm
staff
sure the manager would tell you, or the owner.
Or if the front staff is not making even minimum wage, they're making less than because they're anticipating the tip. We should know all that.
Yeah.
We got to take a break on that
Oh,
note.
okay.
So, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union.
All right,
How do you
well,
invest tips?
So I'm going to piggyback on one of Melissa's commercials about 401 Gives, and I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. If you have a passion for a specific cause, 401 Gives is a great opportunity for you to donate specifically to that organization. So in Melissa's case, St. Antoine has a great program that they're running, and if you have a passion for St. Antoine's, or you you've been affected by the services that they provide, then by all means, we encourage you to go to 401 Gives and take care of Melissa and her team. But if you just have a passion for giving, you're not quite sure what to do with your money, but you want to maybe know that it's going to be invested in housing, or it's going to be invested in food insecurity or veteran services or something along those lines, our foundation, the Navigant Credit Union Charitable Foundation, has a broad array of organizations which we fund, and my job at the foundation is to identify those organizations that are doing the good and impactful work, and that will use the money that we provide to them in an efficient manner that will benefit many. So while our reach is a little different than Melissa's and some of the other organizations in 401 Gives is a great opportunity for you to make a contribution to that organization and know that the money that you're giving is going to go to a good cause. So if you're looking for that organization that's going to put the money in a variety of areas, then Navigant Credit and Charitable Foundation is the place to go. And you can do that through 401 Gives. Just look us up on the 31st of March or the 1st of April. And again, I encourage you to also look at St. Antoine Communities if that's something that you are passionate about.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Stick around.
ON 1240.
At the Broaster House, it begins with chicken, family style or broasted, and continues with excellent seafood, fish and chips, fried scallops, and more. The Broaster House also serves creative appetizers like fried ravioli, boneless chicken nuggets, and the house sampler. Remember the fresh, crispy antipastos and their popular shrimp and corn chowder. Children's menu and family packs always available. The Broaster House, 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket. Available for parties and collations. 762-1717.
This is Anne Conway from the Museum of Work and Culture, inviting you to attend the museum's signature event, A Salute to Spring, Bonjour Printemps, on Sunday, March 29th from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. This festive afternoon will feature a concert by Quebecois musicians Sean and Maya Dager. Sean Dager is a folk singer and multi-instrumentalist whose blend of Celtic, French-Canadians, Baroque, medieval, Arabic, and maritime museum traditions create a unique, energetic performance. His daughter Maya is an accomplished fiddler who blends Quebecois roots, bluegrass, and Cajun influences to create a rich and engaging sound. Guests will also enjoy a talk by local author Joseph Bolton, who will share stories of his French-Canadian heritage and how it inspired his beautifully illustrated Old Grandmother's Tree folktale books. Of course, no celebration will be complete without delicious food. Guests will be served poutine, prepared by Frisky Fries, and fresh pastries from Wright's Dairy Farm. The afternoon will conclude with the museum's annual raffle. Tickets are only $30 for adults, $10 for children ages 5 to 11, and free for children under 4. Tickets can be purchased at rihs.simpletix.com or by calling the museum at 401-769-9675.
Thanks to our bronze sponsors, Woonsocket City Council President Daniel Gendron, Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Sheehan Printing, Wealth Management Resources Incorporated, Hunter Insurance Company, and Little General Stores.
We are local and live at 99.5 FM.
Coffee in here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. As we know, a bunch of states around the United States, some have legalized marijuana, like Mass and Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And other states still don't. Okay. Down in Tennessee, it is not legal. But they're trying to They're trying to push it through. Tennessee lawmakers are set to debate a bill that would legalize recreational marijuana for adults 21 and older, just like around here. But I like this. The proposal, dubbed Pot for Potholes, would add a 15% tax on cannabis sales and use that revenue to fund road repairs across the state.
Right. If anybody
That
thinks that's going to
is
happen,
hysterical.
I got a bridge to sell you, because that's the story. That's the story they've been telling us for years in Rhode Island, right? The lottery revenue is going to go to
it's going to
education.
fix the roads. Yeah.
You know, the truck tolls are going to roads, and we can't have truck tolls.
not
Now we're going to have
happening.
tolls for everything. You watch.
Supporters say the move could bring in millions to help infrastructure issues, while the opponents voice concerns about public safety and impaired driving.
Is there any information yet on how much marijuana revenue has actually increased in the state? What do we get from pot sales? I would be curious.
Do you
know,
want
but-
to add that too?
Oh,
on
yeah.
your
Add
list
that to
of
your list of
questions
things
and
to
then
find out.
bring back,
How much does
Sure.
the state earn?
It's good that we have a
revenue from
short-term
pot sales?
memory, Tim and I, because by the time next week comes around, we're on to new topics.
Yeah, let me write. Joe's going. Let me write that down.
Yeah, let me write that down.
8 years of content that I've forgotten to circle back on.
Someday I'm going to write these things down.
If you're
retire.
if you're wondering, I'm going to retire in a few years, what should I do? Kind of thing. Maybe have you always wanted to own your own ferry? Alaska is looking to sell. They're looking into selling the state's oldest ferry.
I can't say as I want to
about
do
that.
it. I would drive one at Disney, but I'm not so sure that I
The
don't want
plan for
In a
the
man-made lake.
Matanuska comes amid efforts to cut costs tied to the year's ferry budget deficit. State officials say removing the ferry could save about $800,000 per month. The ferry
month?
per month. Yeah. The ferry service began 1963 and it currently serves as a floating hotel. Officials are seeking proposals for the ferry's future use with submissions due next month.
So it's not we're sending people across a waterway on a ferry to get from point A to
I
point
guess
B.
that's what it started as.
Yeah, now
Now
it's
they
a
can
hotel.
Now it's just a
stay
floating
and sleep
hotel.
on it?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, it sounds to me like
Is it just
buy a
anchored?
boat.
Maybe we just anchor it and then you're running a hotel on water.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
guess.
With a beautiful backdrop.
Well, hopefully the hotel is in good shape. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of money on fixing it up.
Fixing it
Oh,
up.
what was that? Ozark. Didn't we watch Ozark?
Ozark, you watched.
You
it. I
watched
don't think
this.
I
You
watched.
guys didn't watch Ozark?
No.
I can run a drug ring through that
That's
operation.
what we want to do. All right.
Sounds like a great retirement plan.
Here we go, Melissa.
So, are you keeping up on your latest Prince Harry and Meghan Markle information?
No, I'm too busy watching Catherine and Will, who I think are the better of the two.
Prince Harry and Meghan have a new project in the works at Netflix. Deadline, that's the name of the show, announced this week that the royal couple is co-producing a new drama centered around Florida polo players. Have you ever seen polo played?
It's amazing.
Pretty
It's pretty
exciting.
cool. It's a wild
It
game.
is pretty cool.
In Newport,
I have not been to
Tiverton?
Newport. I'd like to go to Newport.
Oh, it is
They
the
have the polo
most
grounds in
amazing
Portsmouth.
experience.
Yeah, I have a hat. I could wear the hat.
Yeah. And the plot revolves around the messy dynamics between the two rival teams and the families that lead them.
Yep.
Which actually sounds interesting. The Duke of Sussex, or
I
was
didn't
the
think
Duke.
he could use that term anymore. I think they
no,
basically
I think they just
divested
put
him.
they put it in here. I don't think he's the Duke. But anyway,
Okay.
he is an avid polo player, and in 2024 produced a Netflix docuseries about the sport of kings. The new scripted series will be produced by the couple's Archwell Productions.
So
look
it's
for
a
that
scripted.
on Netflix.
So it's a series then.
Yeah, it's fictional.
I probably will end up watching
That'd
that.
be cool.
That sounds like a show I would watch.
Why wouldn't you just do a documentary, follow polo teams in general? I mean, like F1, the way they do.
That would be
I don't know,
pretty
but
cool. Yeah.
I'm going to go back to this. If you have not been to a polo match, it's actually Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Tiverton, but Portsmouth. It's right on the line of Newport. It's like that whole, what's that
in
road?
the
that's
big
stretched
farm.
between- there's soccer fields there, and I remember when I went to my first polo match, I was like, wait a minute, we've been here for our kids' soccer games. And then that field evidently gets
Right.
flipped. But I went there for a marketing event with a colleague of mine and got invited to go. But I noticed that what the coolest part of it is, if you can picture a football field almost, which it's actually like twice the size of that,
Yep.
cars pull up right to the sides of the field. 3/4 of it are tailgating spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is the coolest atmosphere where folks are just sitting there and you've got these big horses running by. It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is
I
so
would
exciting
like
and
to do that one of
beautiful
these
and
days.
majestic. It's a reason to just be out in like the summer air in Newport area, go
Yeah.
out for a nice little dinner and then go to that afterwards. But a reason to wear like a fancy little outfit and kind
Yep.
of, turn
hat.
over the dirt trivets or whatever they call them. And a hat. Tim's already got the hat.
I got one,
But the
'cause I
fact
got
that you
mine in
can pull up
Saratoga.
and
It's pretty cool.
tailgate and spend an afternoon down there in that area, it's a really
Yeah.
fun little experience.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
horses, they run pretty fast.
They're huge
how
when you're
they-
next
and
to them.
How you can hit that ball while racing on the horse.
It's like a giant game of croquet on a horse.
It is, and that's the other thing. It's athletic. Like
Yeah.
it's not just a guy riding a horse. They are bending over, and it's
Smacking that ball.
insane.
Where's the women's polo team, Melissa? That's what we need next.
I don't know, Tim,
Well,
but
maybe
We
that's,
should get that started.
add that to Joe's list.
Let's start that up. All right.
Bring that back next week with Joe when you come.
We're coming close to Easter, so we always have a new study out. Favorite Easter candy in the United States. Online research site Inner Body has compiled listings of preferred spring holiday treats for every state in the nation using data from Google Trends. What do you think is the most popular?
Mini
ones?
eggs.
Don't say peeps.
And Cadbury.
Reese's chocolate eggs.
Oh, Cadbury eggs and mini eggs. Those are
Peeps.
my two. No, get out of here.
Most popular. We'll go in nationwide. So who knows what people in Iowa are
Well, they
every
use
I
those things for
traditionally buy
decorating
them every
and
year
stuff.
because I decorate my table. Well,
Yeah.
kids
That's
are
what it
bigger
is,
now,
yeah.
but I do. I kind of decorate my table with them. Nobody eats them.
You
Nobody
just
eats
buy the
them.
yellow ones or the purple ones? Or
Well,
all
now
different
I've
colors?
tried some new flavors because they have flavored peeps
Flavored
now, right? So they've got watermelon and they've got
it just marshmallow?
wonky stuff. It is marshmallow.
Yeah.
I think they're
Watermelon marshmallow?
great. I'm gonna bring some in next week.
Oh, boy.
Chocolate
I'm not
bunnies
gonna be
come in
here.
second. Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Oh,
come
those
in
are good.
Third.
Oh, yeah. Starburst jelly beans.
Those
Sweet-
are yes, very
Swedish fish.
good. Nope.
Oh, I
nope.
like those.
Nope.
All
I've
right.
lost you. Wait a minute. This is all before Cadbury eggs and mini eggs.
I don't even have them on the list. Because
You're
the
joking.
next one is Reese's eggs. So it's
I don't.
the top,
This article
it's the top
is
five.
a spoof. This is not accurate. It's
AI.
not
It was
accurate.
written by AI. It's
I'm gonna
not
tell you
accurate.
right now. The order should be.
Sorry, it's not. They're not. Maybe they come in sixth. I don't know, but Reese's eggs come in fifth, and that's all I got. So
Well, sorry.
You know why
sorry, Melissa.
Reese's eggs are on that list, and I have to agree with
'Cause
it.
it's peanut butter and chocolate.
It's
Yeah.
mostly all peanut butter. It's just like the fact that they've figured it out, right? So the pumpkin Reese's are the shapes, and then they have ghost ones. They have some at
Christmas
Christmas time.
trees. Yeah, they got them all.
They've figured out people love the fact that it's mostly all that peanut butter middle and just
Yeah.
like a little bit of chocolate,
Chocolate.
on the outside, and that's why it's on there.
But you're right. I do enjoy the Cadbury eggs that
love
come
a
out. That
Cadbury
come out
egg.
every season.
Cadbury eggs are good. They're so sweet, though.
Oh, they are so sweet.
Oh.
They are
Yeah.
so sweet, but I love
Yeah.
the fact that you can buy one as like a reward if you're out shopping. You could just
Point of
buy
sale.
one.
She's the person that buys all those end cap point of sale things.
I totally am. I totally am.
All right. Well, on that note, Peeps, by the way, still number one. Sorry,
All right.
Tim.
Fair enough.
That'll wrap it up for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. So, Melissa Smith, thanks for coming on in.
Thank you for having me. I will see you next week.
All right. And Tim Draper.
Thank you,
Thanks
Joe,
for
and
being
everybody
here.
get out there and enjoy this God-given day.
All right. Gary Smith is back. He's feeling better. So, the Do You Remember cruise coming up after the 9 o'clock news here on ON AM and FM.
Woohoo!
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.